Loading. Yeah, I think we are on YouTube. So, good evening to you. We are here for another English immersion. My name is Warley, and the topic for today is what what can we do about overthinking? So we're gonna talk a little bit about this topic, about overthinking in a general way. But before to start with the presentations, actually with the introductions and with the questions, I would like to explain a little bit about Talk and Talk for you that are watching us on YouTube. So, first of all, Talk and Talk is a conversation platform for beginner, intermediate, and advanced speakers. It's not so mandatory or so important you're live on English. We are here to have a conversation, but this is not a regular class. I'm not an English teacher at all. The idea is to focus on your fluency and your confidence as an English speaker. So that's the main idea here on Talk and Talk. And besides English, we have other languages as well, like Spanish, French, and Italian. I believe. I don't think we have German anymore. So we have other languages here on the platform, and you can see all of that on the Talk and Talk website. Okay. Um, and yeah, I think that's all about the platform. So let's go to the introduction. So Camila, can you please introduce yourself first?
Yeah, so my name is Camila. I'm 26 years old. I live by myself, actually, with my cat in Rio de Janeiro. I work, I'm a historian, but I don't teach anymore. I work with education, but in the other position, I work with the strategy and plan for educations in schools. Let me see what more. In my free time, I like to go to the beach. I like to do cultural stuffs, like go to the theater, go to the museums. Mm, let me see what more. I like to watch series and read a little. And I think that's it. I've been here in Talking Talk since February to practice more my English and have conversations. And yeah, I think that's it.
Amazing, amazing. Let me ask you a question. How long have you studied English, and why, actually, what is your main goal with English that I explained you to be here, for example?
I've been studying English for, let me see, because I started and I stopped and I'm back.
Yeah.
And regular classes
Same.
and regular classes. But almost I don't know. I really start studying English with more within the better way since 2019. I think I was in the course. I had a regular classes. I stayed there for I don't know 2 or 3 years, and then I had particular classes. And I think that's it. My main goal in studying English, I think it's be fluent some point. And I want to live in abroad, even if for a while. I want to spend the time in a country for speaking English, and I like the language also. I think that's it.
Nice, nice, amazing. So about me, my name is Warley. I'm 25. I work with IT as a project manager nowadays. I'm also English hosting here in Talk and Talk. I'm here since 2022, I believe. I have started as a Spanish host, and nowadays I'm focusing more on English. Um, because of that, in a general way, I like to learn about language in a general way. Um, what else? I like to run. I like to do outside activities, and yeah, I think that's all about me. In a general way, my main goal um to learn English is to be fluent, maybe achieve the same level of Spanish that I have, and maybe use that for work abroad or something like that. So that's the main goal for me. So, okay,
I will
let's
have a
go to,
question for you. I think
yeah,
that is
yeah, go
those,
ahead.
so we can have this kind of conversation. But you said that you speak Spanish, and do you
Yeah,
think because I had studied Spanish when I was at the school, and
uh-huh.
I really like it there, but I stopped. I didn't continue study, and so I stopped Spanish. But I went to back. But at the same time, I'm back to study French. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's a bit difficult to just study both at the same time and
Mhm.
with English too. But do you think that Spanish, because it's very similar to Portuguese, and at the same time, it isn't. But you think study, I don't know, with you could see your level increase Spanish with a time. For example, I start study Spanish, and with 3 months, I could observe that I get better. I think that can be easier than English, for example. The structure is just a curiosity because I want to back to study Spanish. I think that's important, and in some point it's important because we have a lot of countries that have Spanish of official language.
Okay, I actually I don't know exactly what's your question, but I think it's related to the level of Spanish in general way and how we can use that in the real life. Is that right? Something related?
Yeah, how long do you observe your level increase
Okay.
in Spanish? For example, I started, and
Mm.
3 months after, I could speak, for example, without so many difficulties.
Okay, okay, I got it. Um, Actually, my experience with Spanish was a little bit different compared to English, for example. And I don't know if my a good example for you, because I have learned Spanish when I was 15, I believe, because I have started to study on the high school, and on my city, actually on my state. We have here a program that gets some students to study the language abroad, for example, like in Argentina or Uruguay or Spain or something like that. So when I was on the high school, I did this course on my school, and I went to live on Argentina for 6 months, more or less. And my experience learning Spanish was like I did the Spanish course for 1 year, and after that I went to Argentina to live there and study on the high school as well for 6 months, So my experience a little bit different compared to someone that's like us studying English, for example, here um by ourselves.
Okay.
So I I I don't know if I can say to you how many months, for example, I needed to learn the language. But in my opinion, if you study Spanish for if you understand the language in a general way and you study the language for uh, 4 or 5 months, and you practice there on conversations. I believe you can get a great level for speak, to have conversations, because as you said, Spanish is a easy language for us that speak Portuguese to speak, to have conversation. But to learn the language better in a grammar level and to be advanced on Spanish, for example, it's more complicated. It's the same of Portuguese, you know, we have a lot of grammar rules, we have a lot of specific things on the language, so that's difficult. But to speak and to get like an intermediate level, it's more easy, you know. In my opinion, 5, 6 months, it's enough, you know.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, thank you for telling me about your experience.
No problem, no problem. I don't know if you ask me other questions related to that, but I answered that.
Yeah, you answered my question.
Amazing. And in a general way, I understand your point about, well, I'm here practice and develop my English and learn French as well. And you want to learn French, and it's difficult to conciliate that with study Spanish. But in my opinion, you should focus on study what impact more on your life or on your job, you know. Because I don't know, maybe you want to live in a Spanish country or in a French country, or maybe you look that on your job or on your career, it's better to learn French or Spanish. So maybe you should focus first on that language that you help you, um because focus on both, it's more complicated, no? And in a general way, you can learn both after, you can learn the other after, so that's okay, but you need to focus in one. It's more productive, you know.
Yeah.
But in general, it's important to focus on that, but both are important in some level. Spanish, we have a lot of countries here, and you're from Brazil, that you can use that. But I'm seeing a lot of people studying French for a lot of reasons, and it's a nice language as well. But it's a little bit different compared to comparing both. But it's nice. Both languages is nice. Um, okay, so let's go to the question number one. In your opinion, what are some common causes of overthinking? What do you think?
This topic's a little, it's about my life because I am an overthink person.
Yeah.
And, I'm a person who thinks too much. But I've been observing that it's happened with some specific things for me. Like, I don't know, I have an important conversation to have, or with important choice, especially with this. It's a very difficult for me to have to make decisions because I always want to make the best choice. So I start overthinking about uh, every option and what can happen with this option. So in my case, is related. I don't know. At the same time, can be a fear of failure, a perfectionism. I think that overthink person can be for this way. You know, you have a fear to fail. You think too much because you don't want to, because you're insecurity person, or you want to be a perfect person. So this is one step, one possibility. But on the other hand, I think at the same time, overthinking uh, can be, I don't know, maybe this can answer for the question too. But there are people, there are person that are more sensible, you know. So something happened, someone said something different, and the person starts thinking, oh my God, what he said about this, what they use this word, you know. And yeah, maybe these points can be explained overthinking person.
Yeah, these are good points because I totally agree with this point of uh, I believe that people overthink a lot because they are like perfectionists, and they have this fear of failure, as you said. And I do that as well. I overthink a lot, so I'm also that person. Um, and I think that other thing related that, and I totally agree with what you said again, is related to um, we think a lot about what people are thinking about us or about something that we are doing, So I think it's also related to that. And other thing that explain that for me, and other thing that happen a lot with me is the point that I try to anticipate a lot of things that will happen in the future, So I don't know. I have a meeting tomorrow or next week, and I think a lot about what will happen in this meeting or what can happen bad on this meeting. So I try to anticipate all these decisions or all these uh, paths that will happen, So maybe because of that, we think a lot. In a general way, trying to explain the point of overthinking. I believe that people that overthink a lot, is because they are thinking about the past or the future, not on the present. So that's that's easy on the concept, but it's not so easy to do that, to focus on the present and don't think about the future or what will happen after or what did happen before, So I don't know if you agree with all this point, but it's the most difficult ones, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're keep thinking about the results of the past. So this is one case, yeah. And the other, uh, you you start to thinking a lot because you don't make a mistake. Yeah. So it's super complicated because it's like you have to calculate it. You want to know the result before the before the action, right? And this you I feel, um if I feel as a, I don't know, I want to see the future. I want to see all of the possibilities before make a decision, because I don't want to make a mistake, because if I make a mistake, I will need to correct this in some way, So yeah, it's super complicated. In my case, I don't know. I think that both actually. I'm always no. Sometimes thinking about the consequences of my past actions, but in nowadays, for me, it's more about the future. I want to know the future. I want to know what will be happen.
Yeah, that's a good point. In my opinion, I do that more as well. I don't think a lot about the past or the things that I did before, but I think a lot about the things that will happen, I don't know, as I said before, like about a meeting that you have, or maybe I schedule a meeting that I don't know exactly what is this meeting about. So I think a lot about what will happen on this meeting. Maybe I'm doing something wrong or something like that. I will have a negative feedback or something related. So it's hard to think a lot about something that didn't happen yet. So it's not so healthy for us in a general way to think about that. But it's also hard because you try to do all the things do, and you try to do this perfection thing. So um, it's hard. It's hard to don't do that. It's not so easy to just stop thinking and do the things right now and don't worry about what will happen in the future. It's like a difficult practice to do.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But we try our best. It's not so easy, but I think it's like a habit. You need to build that. By the time you get better on doing that, but it's not so easy. It's definitely not easy.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's go to the question number two. In your opinion, why do some people tend to overthink more than others? Or I don't know, why do you think you overthink a lot and maybe other person is so calm and don't do that, for example?
Um, I believe that I have a friend, for example, I have a friend, and I don't know, if I say something for her, she'll be, she'll mm, do something at the same time. She don't have problem in thinking, in be a overthinking person. She just, oh, I have two options, I will choose one, and that's it, that's life. I don't have this ability. So can be at some point personality, the person, I'm determined person, and I think that's it. And I want to have this this trait of personality I don't have, but at the same time I think there are people more sensible, you know, and who perceive things in a different perspective, especially in relationship. For example, if I don't know, if I have a boyfriend and he always call me in some I forgot the word. Oh my God, surname, like apelido. And some point,
So,
yeah, he using another word, So for a sensible person, uh, the person starts to thinking, oh my God, why he did this, So for sensible and emotional person, yeah, surname, nickname, yeah, I want this one. This can the emotional stuff, it's a point. So they start thinking about, oh my God, what this happened, uh, or even in the work, your colleague said something strange, or I don't know, it's in the bad mood, and you start thinking, oh my God, it's because of me, and you start to idealize, to create it, a lot of scenarios in the mind, so and this can be um another perspective about other thinking, different to my case, for example. So I think this question, why some people tend to overthink than others, uh, can be in I don't know, can we have a billion of an answer, because sometimes I overthink and I start to thinking a lot about the the word that I don't know, the future, but not my future, the humanity future. And I start thinking, oh my God, the world, it's a suck. We've been here, destroy everything. The Brazil, it's a terrible country. During the history, things don't change. And my point is, exist different times, no, different ways to be an overthinking, or to have to thinking a lot about something. But yeah, it can be a personal trait, can be emotional stuff, or even a mental health sometimes.
I was thinking here, maybe another explanation about why people overthink a lot, you know. A lot, no, just because overthinking is our badness. Uh, Maybe it's because we try to control everything, you know, or we try to control um the edge cases and the all the things that will happen. And we can do that, you know. I know that's not so easy to think about that, and actually it's not so easy to um do that in the practice, but in general way we can control everything, you know. We can control Brazil in a general way, the bad points related to Brazil, or um, we can control the things that people will do also. So maybe we are concerned a lot about this control, and we think that we should have this control about the things, and we can do that, you know. Maybe with the example about your friend, she has like two options, and she choose one, and that's okay. And maybe it's easy like that, you know. If this option that she chosen, for example, is not so okay, and she will failure in some time in some level, that's also okay. We can fix that and move on, and uh, that's a life, you know. In this perspective, I think some people overthink because they try to control the options and the results that will happen. Um, and they have this feeling or this fear about failure. Maybe these 2 points is the most important ones that explain this overthinking, you know, the point of control and the point of uh, to be a to be perfect or don't failure, you know.
Yeah, and I think that it's super related to being a confident in some way, you know. I believe that exists I don't know if it's a huge related or no, but in some point I believe that exists a relation between uh, overthinking and be a confident, you know, because if you're absolutely sure, you don't have the overthink problem, you know. For example, if you receive R1 million today, you're not overthinking about job, anything, you know. I just get the money, put on the bank, and you know, go to travel the world. Oh, of course, I can thinking about what country I want to visit, but not overthinking. You know, it's different. Thinking be overthinking. So I don't know. Maybe exists this relation about confidence. In some cases, not all of them, but in some part, I believe in this.
Yeah, maybe it's because we have a lot of options to get wrong, you know. So we don't have this amount of money, and we don't have this security of life in a general way. So we have a lot of options that can get wrong. So because of that, we are worried a lot, you know, about what will happen and what can happen with Brazil, for example, and with us and with our family.
Yeah.
So maybe
And
it's because of that.
I don't know if you know this theory. Actually, it's not theory. There is a book that that tell about this, about the paradox of choices.
Yeah.
And this is super interesting because uh, when you have more choices, it's harder to choose one, so that's insane because and make totally sense because if you just have one option, we'll do that, there isn't
Mhm.
another. But if you have I don't know 10 possibilities, no, you can choose just one. And this is complicated. It's sad, but it's complicated. Sometimes I just want to have an option. But okay, I will don't complain.
Yeah, it's a great paradox, this explanation, because if you have a lot of options and you choose one, uh, for you it's hard to do that because you think a lot about, and if I should choose this one, and if I should choose the other one, and you feel that you could choose some option, and you are like uh, losing the other ones, right? So if you have some specific options, you can choose in an easy way because you have just this option, for example, or you have two options. You can evaluate both and you can choose one, and that's okay. If you have 10 options, for example, and you choose one, you have other nine that you could choose as well. Is related to that, right?
Yeah.
That's complicated to think about your brain as well. So it's interesting, but it's funny as well. I don't know. But okay, so let's try to answer the question number four right now. In your opinion, what are some strategies people can use to stop overthinking? Or what do you try, for example, nowadays to try to stop overthinking in your life?
Um, Sleep. Oh no,
So,
I don't do this because I don't know if this happened with you, but this happened with me. If I start to thinking hard about something, or if I have something that makes me feel anxious, when I sleep, I dream with this. That I hate this, but happen. For example, there was a once. Happened with me. I had an important conversation, I sent a message and went to sleep. And in my dreams, the conversation started as if it was the real world. So I continue talk there, I don't know. And when I wake up, I catch myself on to check the message, and it was just a dream. My brain, it's a complicated stuff. But yeah, sleep is not an option if I thinking about something. But do exercise, like go to the gym, or go for a walk. Um, and for me, I think that helps a lot. It's right. you know People are talking nowadays about uh, right as a therapy, but for me, this is perfect. I start to write everything. We using, I don't know, the bad words there. I just start writing, and I feel better. It's like I transfer to my brain, transfer for the paper everything that is in my brain. So this for me helps a lot. Uh, and I don't know, listen to music and try to focus in other thing. Nowadays, I've been seeing a lot of people painting, you know, that book, like Bob Good. My sister have this, and she started painting, and I tried, and it's very therapeutic stuff. You focus there on painting, and you don't thinking about the other stuffs. So this can help actually.
Do you think, for example, to have hobbies or focus on manual things or something related help with that?
Yeah, last year I had a, oh my God, what is the word? Pottery classes, cerâmica, fazer cerâmica com argila, this stuff. So I don't know how can I say this. Manual. Let me see. Manual activity, you know, things that you can
Yeah.
focus using your hand. So, and it was amazing. The class was during 2 hours and a half, almost 3 hours, and I was just focused there, and was like the word didn't exist. So this is very interesting. Unfortunately, I stopped with the classes, but yeah, I have other hobbies like watch series, but I really like to write. For me, it's it's an interesting way, and it's cool when I catch my book and I read the past stuffs, you know. And I think, oh my God, I don't know that I was thinking about this. But yeah, I think this for me, this strategy. I sometimes I do. Oh my God, what is the word? Esqueci o nome tá em português. Meditation. Sometimes I do meditation, and I need to breathe, you know. And it's difficult because they thoughts just came to me, and I need to breathe and start to stop thinking about this stuff. But meditation is super hard and difficult activity. It's not easy. It's not just breathe.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and you brought some interesting points because I totally agree with hobbies, for example. I really believe that if you have hobbies, you can focus on something, and you can turn your attention to that, you know. So it helps a lot with overthinking, in my opinion. And I also agree with the point of write down something. If you are thinking a lot, or if you are worried about something, I believe that psychologists say that a lot. When when you are worried about something, and uh, in a general way, it's better for you to just write down this thing, you know, because maybe this thing is a bad thing on your mind, but when you write down that, it's not so bad compared to what you are thinking, you know. So write the things. I believe that's great. Also to have hobbies is also amazing to help with that. And I don't know. I believe that you said about meditation, and I have some similar opinion with that, but in general way, we can choose in what we pay attention, you know. For example, maybe I'm focused right now on thinking about English, and maybe my level in English, or the mistakes that I'm doing is speaking English, but or about a meeting that I will have tomorrow or something like that. But I can choose to not to think about that, you know. It's not so easy to do that, but we have this power of focus on something else, And in a general way, I think it's a great practice. Maybe using meditation, or maybe just trying to thinking about something else, or try to do something else. Because when we are thinking a lot, we are maybe thinking about the future or about the past, and you can choose to turn our attention or something in the present, or about other things that don't make you anxious. So maybe it's another technique, but it's pretty hard to do that. It's not so easy to, for example, meditation and just breathe and pay attention, or nothing, or try to focus on your attention or something else. But as I said before about stop overthinking, it's a practice, It's like a habit that you need to build. It's not easy, but it's important.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the point. So let's move on to the question number, let me see. Question number 6. How has technology like social media contributed to overthinking, in your opinion? I don't know if you use a lot social media, for example, but you think that kind of technology help your overthinking?
Absolutely. Let me think. Because I love internet. I think it's internet. It's a way to democratic in some point. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the word right, but when you democratization, enfim, democratiza
So,
a lot about education, about culture, information. The internet, it's amazing in different perspectives, but at the same time, social media democracy. In social media, it's a super complicated. I really understand that Instagram, for example, it's a workplace for a lot of people. You have, I don't know, a store there. So no, oh my God. You you sell stuff there using the social media to make money. And I agree, okay, there is no problem. But social media have been creating a huge problem in your society, and we have almost the same age. I 26. And when we were a teenager, we had cell phone, but we I feel I wasn't I hadn't a vicious in cell phone, you know. I use it and that's okay. I had my Instagram, but the new teenager, and I have a sister that is teenager. They are they're oh my God, addicted to the social media. And it's a problem because you don't post the bad stuff in the internet, you just post the better stuffs. Sometimes you spend all of your money, you don't have any money in your account, but you travel, so we have in this world about a fake real life, you know, and the creators, the influence, they post a life that don't exist in the real world, Oh, I will wake up at the 4 a.m. just training, and I will spend all the day doing nothing. This don't make sense. And social media contributed a lot about this, and I I am actually this person that use it a lot in Instagram, so I I exclude, yeah, my app, and I stay, I don't know, 3 or 4 months without entering Instagram, and it was amazing because you don't see about nothing. You don't know about the gossip. You don't know about the, I don't know, your aunt's life. And it's super cool. And no one about your life too. And it's amazing because we have this comparison culture, this information, have information all the time. Sometimes I feel my brain boiling about information, especially about politics, about the world, about the, I don't know, Israel, about the Europe, about everything. So the internet, it's super complicated, and we just exposed to this billion of information, and not just this, but we have this comparison. This is super complicated. Even in LinkedIn, that is not a social media to post, I don't know, super incredible stuff like Instagram. But people in LinkedIn, oh my God, they're not normal too. And you start to compare, oh my God, uh, that girl have the same age as me, and she's CEO about something. She works at the company, which is amazing. She travel for the company, and I have I don't know, a terrible job. So the the most problem in social media is we start overthinking about your life, about this comparison, you know, and this this terrible, and you have notification all the time. uh and Instagram, you want to see the stuff all the time because you don't want to missing something. uh and I think that's it, all of this.
We have a lot of problems with social media and this kind of technology, right? So it's related to the notification, it's related to the comparison with others, it's related to the reels and this kind of video that you are just scrolling all the time, um, and this amount of information that we have on the social media also. So it's everything related to overthink and to thinking in general way, to think a lot uh, and related with these problems, I also agree that social media, Instagram, and this technology are nice. They have these good points related to connect with people, and I don't know, to just contact people in a general way, and um, maybe get some information and know about what's happening in the world. But the bad points are so worse, we have a lot of bad points on this kind of technology. And when you have all this information about everything on the social media, uh, you can just overthinking, we don't have other option to do. You just overthinking and consume a lot of information and see all the things that's happened. Actually, the perfect things that is happen with the other's life, and compare us to them, and all these things, So it's pretty hard. I try to don't use Instagram and social media a lot, but I just can't. It's pretty difficult. Not because if you have friends, and if you don't have this contact, this near contact with your friends, for example, you you need to use the social media, to have this contact. So it's other thing difficult to do.
Yeah, because I have a friend who send me everything in Instagram, and it's
Yeah.
difficult because if you don't there, if you are not there, you can't see, you know. So it's like a pressure. You need to pressure for stay in the social media because if you don't there, people start to ask you what happened. Something happened to you. You know, you don't post anything. You don't see my message on Instagram, so it's difficult. And I've been observing this stuff about social media and lifestyle in some way. It's about the healthy, you know, because people start to become not healthy in some point, but this lifestyle about just your dates based on the
Mhm.
exercise. You know, these blogueiros do this all the time. Like this point in this is Manu City with the, you know, she I don't know, her life is just do exercise. You know, she wake up at 4 a.m. and do, I don't know, she's swimming and go to Pilates and go to the gym, you know, everything. And sometimes we start thinking about, oh my God, I want to have this life. I want to have this time for doing this stuff, this money. So you start to thinking and overthinking about your life again and have this comparison. I don't know, that's it. It's complicated to use the social media. So I did a cleaning on my Instagram. I stopped to follow gossip page because it's not important. It's not contribute enough in my life. Stopped to follow uh, some people there. It's a way to try to create a better space there on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly that. And in general way, you don't need to consume this amount of information, and you shouldn't focus on this perfect life that influencers share on that, you know. So that's the main point. But Camila, unfortunately, we don't have time for more questions because we have other immersion right now. So I would like to send here on the chat the link of the survey. This is an anonymous survey, and you can say what did you think about the immersion, give some feedbacks, and also suggest other topics that you would like to talk about. Okay, so
Okay,
I hope you enjoyed the conversation, and I hope to see you again on next time. Okay, so thank you.
bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye, Camila.